Hey everyone, I am your astrologer, Wonder Girl, taking you to new heights. Here is your daily forecast for the day of Sunday, June 10th, 2018. Before I get started, I did just want to remind you all, I'm still doing horoscopes on horoscope.com. They're much shorter than these videos, so sometimes if 20 minutes is just a little bit too long for you, since I've been going kind of long lately with my videos. I don't know, I've just been super chatty. I'm blaming this on Neptune, making me just, I don't know, wanting to sit with things a little bit more. But if you feel like you don't have time some mornings for 20-minute videos, I understand, I get that way sometimes. Watch my videos on horoscope.com. I'll put the link down below in my description box. They're only, 4 minutes? So it's a lot shorter if that's all you got time for. Now what we've got going on today is the moon hanging out right here in Taurus. When the moon is in Taurus, it brings our attention to stability, security, being more stable and secure in life, confidence, increasing our confidence, our money, bringing more income to us, and figuring out what it is that we value, what's important to us, and moving forward on some of our values. So that's what's going on today with the moon in Taurus. All right, this moon in Taurus is a tad bit unusual, especially very, very early today, at midnight yesterday into today, because this moon in Taurus is going to come over Uranus, make a conjunction with Uranus. And Uranus is not like being in Taurus. Uranus actually likes being in Scorpio, because Uranus, I don't want to say has the traits of Scorpio, but just creates lots of instability. That Scorpio is a little bit better at handling. So even though we do have a moon in Taurus that wants things to be stable and secure, Uranus here is making it a little bit unusual, shaking things up very early this morning. Maybe there's some unexpected things that happen in regards to your confidence, your talents, and your finances that do come up. If something unexpected doesn't happen, then maybe you yourself just decide to do something a little bit different, a little bit unusual, decide to break free, to use new or different skills or talents. That's funny that I just said that. I've been thinking about taking some evolutionary astrology courses for like the past few hours. I didn't even correlate it to this, but yeah, so it could be something unexpected that comes up with your money, spending money, with your talents, you doing something to kind of do something a little bit unusual that could happen here at midnight. Okay, and really just needing to go with the unexpected with whatever comes up, so that you can figure out what to do with it later, all right? And that's because at 9 a.m. what we do get further through the day is the moon comes off Uranus and then makes a square with the nodes. Now, I don't know if I should really mention that too much. Speaking of evolutionary astrology, I don't really think the moon, according to evolutionary astrology, can square its nodal axis. Only other planets can, because the nodes are related to the moon. But when planets square the nodal axis, I do consider the planet at the tip of the square to be very, very important before we move forward, needing to find more of that stability. In this case with the nodes, before we can be happier, do what we enjoy, needing to take a second to settle down to figure out what's important to us before we can move on. All right, and I think what's going on here is that we just have this moment at midnight, crazy, unexpected things, for better or for worse, unexpected insights, events, us wanting to break free, to express our gifts and talents more freely, to make money or deal with our financial situations. And I think what starts to happen later on, if we want to count this square to the nodes as valid at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, is that it then becomes important after the unexpected thing has occurred to narrow our options down, to bring the stability back, to focus a little bit more than we have so that we can move forward with some of the things that have occurred. All right, so that happens at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Then after that occurs, 1 hour later at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, the moon in Taurus will make a trine with Saturn. And what that can bring perhaps is some work that we need to do and get done at 10 a.m. Because this is a trine, and because it's Saturn, Taurus and Saturn and Capricorn like each other, I do think it will help us at 10 a.m. to get to work, to get busy, to make some commitments, to do the things that we need to put our life in a better place in a way that is more stable, moving on. So I really do like this at 10 a.m. to help us accomplish some of the things, the work, the responsibilities that we need to do in a way that feels better. It's just a matter of taking some unexpected things that maybe occurred at the end of yesterday into today, getting a handle on those things so that we can then get busy and use the unexpected things maybe that came up to our advantage to move forward, to put our life in a better place. Okay, so that's going to happen there. While that's happening at 10 a.m. as the moon's making a trine to Saturn, it's also making a square over here to Mars in Aquarius. So I think what happens at 10 a.m. is that we start to hopefully get more focus, more determination to do the things that we need in a much better way. Hopefully that can yield better results because we have more of the patience and the discipline in order to do it. But what comes up at that time, maybe a little bit of a challenge with the square to Mars, is then it becomes, okay, now that I'm doing more of this work, now that I'm settling down to move forward on some things, what does this mean for my future? How can I lift my head up? Well, how can I work? And at the same time as I'm working, think about my future, think about some of my goals, adjust some of my goals, think about where I want my life to go, and how can I use some of my talents, use some of my skills, use some of my resources while I'm doing work that needs to be done to put my life in a place that inspires me, that I enjoy, that I can get excited about, okay? And I think that's the big thing. And while we're trying to get to work, get busy at 10 a.m. in a way that I do like to think is going to be positive, this square to Mars and the South Node can make us not want to do work. We want to break free. We want to do other things that we're more excited about, that we're more interested in, that inspire us. And really needing to, I think, early in the morning, mountain time here, to figure out how to do the work that you want and need, and how to get excited about it, or how to see a future, envision a better future, doing the things that you need to do in a way that inspires you and helps you to to do things that resonate with who you are more authentically. Okay? Yeah. That's kind of interesting, because we could feel like the work that we're doing isn't really resonating with us, that we're not really that interested in it. And I think just needing to figure out here how to engage more of what you really desire into the work that it is that you're doing, and how to see new possibilities for your future, perhaps, as you're getting things done. Yeah. So that's going on there. And then the moon's just going to kind of hang. It's just going to chill until 10 o'clock at night, Mountain Time. And at 10 o'clock at night, the moon's going to move further through Taurus, and it's going to oppose Jupiter in Scorpio. And what can happen then at 10 o'clock is there could be, perhaps again with Jupiter in Scorpio, maybe some more changes that it is that we want to make in life to put our life in a better spot. Maybe after realizing with the square to Mars here that we feel like there's something that's missing, there's something that we want, we need to be inspired about life that's not in our life. Maybe after we kind of have that struggle for a little bit earlier in the day, maybe this opposition to Jupiter at nighttime makes us realize, well, maybe we need to change some things before we can start to use more of our unique talents, feel better with what we're doing, feel more confident, feel more stable moving forward. Maybe as well with Jupiter here in Scorpio, we could be getting some insights about who we really are deep down, what we really want, what our true desires are as well, and having to figure out here at 10 p.m. how we can make allowances for our deepest desires, for our truest wants, so that we can start to move forward on those, hopefully integrating them more into our life and making sense of those things. So I think that's what can come up at 10 p.m. here, just having to figure out what do you really want, and how can you integrate that more into your life in a stable and secure way. And how can you not? What do you want, and what should you move forward on, and what shouldn't you? So that's happening there. And then the last thing that I'm going to mention is actually going to happen at 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. And at 1 a.m. tomorrow morning, the moon again going to move further through Taurus, make a sextile with Neptune and Pisces, and that is going to help you very early tomorrow morning. I like to think to start to feel more peace on the inside, to make sense of some things intuitively and spiritually, to feel like maybe you're overcoming the past, so that you can move forward feeling more whole, more stable, more secure, more confident as you move forward, okay? So that's what's going on today. I know the moon in Taurus is interesting now with Uranus there, because to me, Uranus in Taurus is really all about finding your unique gifts, finding your unique strengths, stepping into your unique power, which could be a little bit uncomfortable doing that, because sometimes to own up to what makes you unique, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to shake things up. You have to do things differently than everyone else is doing them. So it's a little bit unique with or a little bit unusual here with Uranus being in the sign of Taurus, but I think that's what we're trying to figure out, especially with the square to Mars, since Mars is in Aquarius right now, and Uranus rules Aquarius. So I think there's definitely a lot going on of figuring out today what really resonates with us authentically. What do we really want to be good at that no one else is good at? And how can we do the work that we need to do, but also do more of what really inspires us, do more of what sets us free, and incorporate that more and more into our life in a more stable way that we can be more confident with, while doing some of the other things that our life requires of us. And it's just trying to figure that out. You know, I have to do this, but I really want to do this. This inspires me more. This is where I feel like my future is more going, or maybe I want my future to go, but I can't do that right now. And I think really having to figure out, yeah, how to do both, how to not neglect your tasks, how to make some of those things happen. And I think we are going to have help doing that, but it's how to not get distracted if there are some other desires that we have, if there are some other things that we're feeling like maybe we're being more called to at this time, okay? So I think that's going to be a thing, especially with Mars stationing, about to go retrograde. You know, where we want our life to go, what really resonates with us authentically, where we see our future is changing. We're like in the process of developing it, or reconceptualizing where we thought our life was going. And I think that as well could be distracting, where it's like, man, I got work to do. And I kind of want to do this work. You know, it's like I got things I need to make happen, and like there's nothing wrong with it. And I think a lot of this stuff that we're working on today, we've been working on for quite some time. So it's not like new stuff. It's like things we're getting more familiar with. But I think while we're doing that stuff, we're realizing there's some things about our future, about where we thought our life was going, that's changing. And it's like, how do we get work done that we need to get done and feel more comfortable in our life with some of these planets in Cancer? We don't quite know what we really want, where things are going, how everything's going to add up together. That I think today we're just trying to figure out and to think about and to ruminate on as things start to come together, and needing to not get distracted. It's okay if you don't see the future yet, the full vision of where your life is going. It's okay if it's coming in piecemeal to you. Don't neglect the work that you need to do, but try bit by bit to see your future differently and to incorporate a better vision into your life, so that you can feel better about some of the things that you have to do. All right? Yeah, that's what I'll say there. Now for some stuff going on in the background, what we've got today. Mars in the South Node, I just talked about that a little bit. Could bring frustrations, dealing with things in the past. Maybe we don't want to deal with things in the past, but really needing to tie up some loose ends and take care of some of that stuff, so that we can move on a little bit later in the year, doing new things, feeling much better about everything that's occurred. Okay, Mars again, the South Node could be a little frustrating. Maybe we want to do things, we feel like it's hard for us to make progress. We could also, again with this placement, want to break free to do unusual things, and really just needing to not detach so much from life, because we still got things we need to take care of, and needing to just watch that. Give your time, you know, give yourself time to let your mind wander with Mars being in Aquarius, but maybe wanting to check it sometimes as well, and give it more structure and control. Sometimes I think planets on the South Node need more control in how we use them, so that you can make sure everything's going according to plan and you're not neglecting some things. Also, we do have Jupiter in a trine with Neptune, even though it's moving past it. And I do like this. I think there's some big inner transformation going on deep beneath the surface emotionally, even if we're frustrated, even if we feel caged in, even if there's a lot going on in the mind. I do think we're having really positive things go on inside to help us meet the new demands of our lives as we're trying to work some of the big picture stuff out. Okay, also the last thing I'll mention too is the Sun still in a square with Neptune. So I think we're trying to think about things, communicate about our life, especially in Gemini, make everything that's happened to us lately more familiar, but maybe there's still some things from the past, again, with Mars in the South Node too, that we're trying to get over and process. Maybe there's still some emotional stuff weighing on us, and really needing to figure out how to take the emotional stuff that's going on, put it in its proper place, and to understand it better, so that you can start to move forward thinking more logically, thinking more clearly about the things that you want and need without having so much weighing on you. Okay, and I do think there's a lot of positive stuff coming emotionally with the Jupiter in a trine with the Neptune. It's just taken some time out to listen to what's going on and to not be afraid of your emotions if you are feeling some things. so that you can do what needs to be done without feeling like there's so much baggage weighing you down. All right, now the sun today is going to be in a quincunx with Pluto, which is kind of interesting today. That could be a little bit difficult because the sun in Gemini wants to communicate freely about whatever, and Pluto here says there's some heavy things going on, especially in Capricorn, about a reputation that we need to be serious about. And of course the sun in Gemini, not really that serious of a sign, doesn't really want to be serious about some of the heavy things that are going on. And I think we're having to figure out here how to not take our life so seriously, how to lighten up a little bit, still do the things that we need. I think that's a big thing I'm getting from the chart. We still have responsibilities, we still have things we need to take care of. Do those things, but don't take yourself so seriously in the process. You know, don't get so frustrated. Don't have so many attachments. Learn how to lighten up a little bit, how to communicate about some of the changes that are going on without letting your emotions get the best of you. I do think that's a big thing going on. There could be a lot of questions we have about life, a lot of things we want to happen, not here yet. And I think the message is have fun with it. Have fun with it. Lighten up. It's okay. It's okay if things aren't where you want them to be, if it's going to take some more time. Do something fun that you enjoy. Be silly. Sometimes I think Gemini's a little silly. Be a little silly while the time is here. And I think it'll help later on. Once some of these planets move into different spots, for us to then channel more of our energy later into a more disciplined way. But I think right now it's just kind of like, you know, some frustrating things going on. All the answers aren't there quite yet. We're processing a lot of things inside. Let yourself do that, but like chill out and like have fun, and it's gonna be okay. As everything just kind of works itself out, right? Yeah, that's all I got for today. Your card, the moon, upright. The moon is definitely all about deep emotion, subconscious stuff that we're dealing with today. We got like the dogs howling at the moon in this card. It always reminds me of, like, sometimes I feel like that's the way that I am inside. Sometimes where everything inside is like so tumultuous. It's just like my spirit howling. And yeah, that could be what's going on today. Maybe that, yeah, I can see that, especially with the sun in a square to Neptune, Jupiter in a trine to Neptune, the quincunx to Pluto. Maybe there is a lot of emotional stuff that needs to be dealt with. And sometimes I do feel like with this card, it says, okay, deal with that. Bring it out into the moonlight, or bring it out into the day. Don't let all the stuff that's bothering you like happen in the dark, like wither away in secret. If you've got something going on that's serious, that's weighing on you, talk about it. Maybe that's the quincunx and Pluto. Don't be afraid to share what's bothering you. You know, I think there's a way to share it. You know, if you got something on your mind that's hard for you, speak about it. That doesn't mean you gotta be upset about it. Doesn't mean you gotta cry and, you know, and like get so worried about everything. You know, I think a lot of these placements, you know, with the Gemini right now is saying, if you got something weighing on your mind, say it. But say it casually, say it fun, make a joke of it, make it lighthearted. I mean, life's kind of funny anyways. We're not going to make it out alive, any of us. So, you know, just be silly, live in the moment, and don't be afraid. You know, I think sometimes that's when our emotions get the best of us, when we're like, but this is so important to me and this is so scary, and then we build what we feel up to be huge, and then they get really hard to control because we haven't told anyone and because we feel like they're these massive situations. And I think if we just like accept what it is that we're feeling is what we're feeling, and don't make it any bigger than it really is, and let it out bit by bit, I think then it becomes less scary. It becomes easier to deal with, so that we can put everything in its proper place. And just needing here to not let some subconscious things weigh in your mind. Talk about them. They're not as bad as you think they are. And address them so you can move on. So that's what I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching my horoscope. If you like it, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and I will talk to you later.